In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Signadot Smart Tests to automatically detect meaningful differences in your microservice API. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to create and run smart tests, set triggers that run tests when a sandbox is updated, and interpret the result to identify critical API changes. Hi, I am Emmanuel from Signadot. If you are struggling to track subtle but important API changes during development, this video is exactly what you need. Let's get started. First, log into your Signadot dashboard and head over to Smart Test. Then click on New Smart Test. This opens up the Starlark editor, and if you don't know, Starlark is a language similar to Python. So if you're comfortable with Python, you will feel right at home with Starlark. So you can clear this. I already have a very simple Starlark test that I want us to work with here. And as you can see, this test does something very simple. It sends a GET request to the location service endpoint running inside a cluster. As you can see here, the capture true flag here is crucial as it tells Signadot to collect the request and responses data, so our smart diff can later compare baseline and sandbox run. After writing the test, select cluster. In our case, it's a demo cluster. Then you can save, and then we'll create a name for the smart test. We'll call it demo smart test and click save. After writing the test, the initial run is just a check. It is not yet tied to a sandbox, and from here, if it returns a 200 status and expected JSON, it means we are all set. So as we can see here, we have a 200 status and expected JSON. This is our expected JSON, and you can see the run finished successfully. Next, we will set a trigger so that this test runs automatically when a sandbox changes. On the test details page, let's go to trigger and specify a workload that when forked by a sandbox should trigger the test. So add trigger. Our cluster is already demo cluster and it's a deployment kind. So our namespace is hotshot dev mesh, and we are focusing on the location service. So this is what we'll select, and then we create a trigger. So now any sandbox that includes the workload will run the test automatically. Let's say we have a pull request that removes a key field from the API response. Let's say the coordinate field. Once we commit and push this change, our CI will update the sandbox. This updated sandbox fires off our smart test automatically. So after the sandbox update, we need to head back to the smart test page and check out the execution. You can see we have a test already running. Let's wait for it to execute completely. You can open the test to see. We can see it's in progress. Let's give it a little time. Now in the response body, we will see a smart diff of what has changed between the baseline and the sandbox. This is the basis of smart tests. Signadot smart diff classified differences by relevance. Now these relevance are high, medium, and low. Now the high relevance, which are red, are big changes such as field removal, schema alterations, or critical logic shift. The medium ones are changes that matter but may happen occasionally, and the third one are the low, which are in the green color. They are most likely noise like timestamp or random IDs that change all the time. Green differences can usually be ignored safely. So by focusing on this high, we can easily spot what's truly broken or altered in our API. For example, removing a key field such as coordinate shows up as a high relevance red difference, guiding us right to the issue. Moreover, it is important to note that the classification of changes is performed by an AI model, and while it may not always be perfect, it is expected to improve over time. We can view changes categorized as high, medium, or low relevance based on the model's current assessment. So sometimes you may have to run this test a few more times to get a balanced result. Let's say we want to do that, we can always update our sandbox right from the UI, and this will help us trigger the smart test to run over again. So let's do that quickly, and then click on apply. Sandbox updated. Now you're going to see a new smart test will be triggered, and this is going to run the test again. Let's give it a little time. Yeah, you can see our test has succeeded, and this time we got a very similar result, probably the same results like last time. So you can always run this over and over again. All you have to do is to simply edit the sandbox specification, and this will trigger the test again and again. You can run this as many times as you want. Additionally, if something is unclear, you can always view the corresponding jobs and logs. You can find the jobs here, and this is the last one we ran. These logs detail requests, responses, and any errors. Examining them helps us debug issues like network failures or unexpected HTTP statuses. As we can see, the HTTP status is 200 and this is our JSON output. If you look carefully, you will see that we only have the ID and the name. Coordinates field is missing, due to our alteration from the sandbox. If we go back to our initial test, you will see that the coordinates was present before we altered the API response to get something different. Therefore, by reviewing logs, we confirm the request made, responses received, and can verify that the missing coordinate field was indeed returned differently in the sandbox compared to the baseline. And that's it. We've created smart tests to help us identify simple changes in our API responses. For more information, you can visit the Signadot docs. Thank you for watching.